how do you forgive and how do you trust? Like,
I was going to say, I think there's three things that come with being able, like really being able to forgive somebody. And part of it is like actually being able to let go of the control that you don't have. Like you said, you don't have the control over the situation, that when they go out, when they do, because you also can't just like lock you can't put them in a cage either. Like that's not realistic. That's going to end up in a disaster, you know? Right. And so just knowing that you can't control someone and kind of acting that way, like, hey, and it's not so easy because the other person also has to be sensitive to that. Yes.
It takes two. It really, to heal the relationship, it's not just the person who caused the hurt, who caused the distrust. Yeah, it's rebuilding on the relationship.
Because for both of us, there were times where we did want to call. Or, I mean, at least for me, I know where it's like, all right, I'm going to go out and do something. I'm going to make sure that I at least, I'm going to call and say, hey, how you doing? But
like, what do you mean? Like checking up?
Just for reassurance for you, because I know that this is something like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. And so
when you're out of town, you mean like calling me just to give me that reassurance.
Yes.
Or whatever, that you're thinking of me or whatever.
Right.
The text messages that come through.
And I'm saying, especially in the beginning, like you have to be sensitive of what just happened and what you're rebuilding. You're rebuilding your relationship again. Right. So if you're rebuilding your relationship again and you're going to go hang out with one of your buddies for the first time since this whole thing happened,
right?
It might be a good idea. Like, hey, let me step out for a second and call my wife and see how she's doing. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, what are the kids doing? Or invite her. Right. You know, whatever the situation. But yeah, to keep your partner in mind. You know, the second part that I was thinking was working on ourselves and working on each other, like putting each other. Like, we are the focus of this thing, our marriage, me and you.
Yep.
And when you start doing that, then things also start changing in the relationship too.
Right. Yeah. We started working on ourselves because we realized that there was a lot of unhealed hurts, right? And it wasn't just between us. I mean, it was also past trauma, like childhood trauma. You were not in a healthy relationship before me.
Yeah.
You know, you brought that same
true
temper into this relationship,
right?
Comparing me to her, which didn't help.
In certain situations, yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And so it's clearing all of that so that you have a strong foundation. You have a higher percent to win.
The last one is supporting each other while we're going through it and when we need it.
Being empathetic.
Those three things, being empathetic, like those three things, you know, and we still mess up. I messed up. I talked about it a couple episodes ago. Like, you were going through your moment, and instead of me thinking about the reassurance and being empathetic, I just kind of came back at you. You know, that was my moment to try to reassure you. You were going through your stuff. And like you said, it happens. Like, sometimes I'll get a thought, but, you know, I just try not, like, I work on not having those thoughts. You know, because I know what that leads to. You're just going to drive yourself crazy.
Right.